You're with the Foamy Heads.
We're live.
Welcome to another episode of the Foamy Heads. You're on the mic with Mitch and Rich today.
That's right.
And I'm not looking forward to any of this.
No, I'm not sure why we're doing this to ourselves, but
Why did we do this? How did this come up?
I think it was just a conversation and going, yeah, those weren't the days before craft beer.
This is going to be terrible. Do you want to tell them what we're doing?
Well, I think you initiated this whole thing,
Okay.
so I can go ahead and just jump us off here.
Yeah, go for it.
So we are going in the opposite position of craft, right? Is that a good way to put it?
Basically,
The other side of the world, malt liquor, and,
terrible beers.
Yeah, just water beers, or you're drinking that water, aren't you?
Yeah.
Kind of, mockery.
We're
But-
literally going in the opposite direction of where we've been going because the last, few weeks we've been in the double IPA range
Right.
and the stouts. And what was the Imperial? What was the stout that we had from the brewery over in California? The Black Tuesday. What was it
Tuesday.
sitting at?
Oh, that was easily.
Like
I think this the one we
17?
had was a 2010, and it was the lowest alcohol one at probably 17.5%.
I think was what it was. Yeah, we're we're drinking. We're not having good beers today.
No.
So yeah,
What
well,
are we
let's run
drinking?
them down then. So what are we drinking? Right.
Yes.
We're gonna have 4 really really cheap beers.
Total the total cost for 4 beers was
$7.
that
That was with tax. It was like $7.06
what a
with
deal.
tax. Yeah. Something like that. We're drinking, and all of these are at least 25-ounce cans. So we're drinking Busch beer, the big one. It's a 25-ounce can.
The big one.
Yep. That's the lowest alcohol content at 4.3.
That's right. We're going by alcohol. Yeah.
Because
yeah.
as you mentioned, there's really no proper way to drink any of these. So we
No.
just kind of chose by alcohol, ABV, and just went up from there, right?
Right.
Right. So Busch at 4.3, and then Miller High Life coming in at 4.6% is what we're going to be having next. And then Bud Ice, which is at 5.5%, so a little bit higher. We're starting to get into the sessionable IPA
There we
ABV range now for the craft beer world.
What a champ.
Yeah. And then we're finishing off with King Cobra, the big 40, with a whopping 6% alcohol. That is the equivalency of the Bud Light Platinum ABV,
God.
which actually I think Bud Light Platinum might be 6.1 or maybe it's 6%. I don't remember. But regardless,
Yeah.
we're going from 4.3 all the way up to 6% today.
Their
in 4
strategy
beers.
is quantity, not quality.
Yep. I'm going to pop over this first one. Busch is what we're drinking first.
Oh man. Here
We really don't have proper glassware for this. Are we using these red Solo cups?
Might as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks terrible. It looks like piss.
Well, it is.
I don't need to know that.
Bush has icebergs on there. Does that mean we have to drink it ice cold?
Busch. Well, of course you have to drink it ice cold because it's going to it's going to taste bad regardless, but
Right.
brewed in the USA by Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis,
So.
Missouri.
I can say that I feel like I've never drank Bush beer before.
Okay.
But there is a chance before college or into college or at college that I might have had a can and not noticed it.
Mm-hmm.
I know for sure I had Steel Reserve.
Oh,
And that
I've
was
had Steel
terrible.
Reserve. It was terrible.
Yes.
It was very terrible.
I wasn't even into craft beer at the time or knew what it was. This was just beer.
Yeah.
This is what you picked up to drink when you just were wanting to get trashed.
As you mentioned, quantity over quality.
Right.
This is probably the sole existence of why craft beer exists.
True.
People
True.
are just very tired of drinking the same thing over and over.
Well, there's definitely a foam to it.
It's sitting.
Yeah.
There's a pretty disgusting smell, but it's. I guess
mean-
it could be worse.
It kind of has the factory smell to it.
Mm-hmm.
You walk into any kind of brewery, there's like a yeasty smell to it or something. Malt.
take a sip.
Yeah, let's get this done.
Oh,
Wow, that's a lot like water, but there's like a little tinge of flavor.
A little sugary at the end.
Yeah. It's
I was
like if you wanted a diet cupcake with no vanilla.
Diet cupcake with no vanilla.
Well, diet drinks are a joke anyway.
That's awesome. That's a great analogy. That's perfect for this. It's not
weird.
even cold. Like
Yeah.
I took it out of the fridge. We picked it up at the gas station, like in the beer cave, and we kept it in the fridge for a while, and it still is not that cold. How does that happen?
It's the big one, man.
This is fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it's definitely not the best. Last resort on a hot day, and I'm outside, maybe a ballpark stadium, and it's what do you call that when you're, I don't know, gathering before a game?
Like pre-gaming.
Pre-gaming. I feel like there's a word for it. I'm not a sports fan, everyone, if you can't tell already.
The word is pre-gaming.
Okay.
Yes.
But I thought there was something you do before a game in the parking lot, or if you're going somewhere, and it's, I forget what it's called, but you're essentially sharing beers at each other's bumpers kind of thing. Or if you have an RV and you don't have tickets to get in, I guess you're like doing that thing.
Tailgating.
Tailgating. Yeah, we even have a brewery called Tailgate here. God.
Very
Okay.
good brewery too.
Yes, very good brewery.
Very good brewery. We need to go check them out sometime. I've
We
been
really
there.
do.
I've been there once. I've been to one of their campuses. They have two or three
Wow. Okay.
in Nashville. Yeah, and I've been to one of them. And
I was aware of two.
it might be two.
Okay.
It might be two. I just, for whatever reason, I'm thinking there's three. But
they've been around a while, so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh
But
man.
they don't. Oof, this is. I can't.
You know.
I poured it. I'm gonna drink it. We're not splitting. I don't think we're gonna do the entire 25-ounce can unless you want to have more.
I don't want to be full on just cheap beer, to be honest.
Yeah.
We got better beers to get to.
Do we?
I think so. But I mean, we'll need a rinser of a good beer after all this.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, good for hot days, I would assume.
Yeah, it has to be really cold though.
Yeah.
I think. I will say, as much shit as I'm giving this beer, if it was ice cold, I would be able to taste even less of whatever this is, and it would almost be refreshing if I'm drinking it on a hot day. But if it gets into the warm beer suck zone of a can,
No way.
then I don't care if it's hot outside or not, I will not drink this beer.
Yeah, no. That's a big no for me as well.
I'm not surprisingly, I kind of was expecting to get one of those like the metallic-y, like canny tang taste to it. I didn't get any of that in this beer, which is one of the reasons that when people were moving to craft beer, like when they were moving from bottling into canning because canning's cheaper, a lot of people were getting upset because the reason why bottles work better is because it doesn't have any of that flavor transfer from an aluminum can because you're using a glass bottle. So in order to kind of make up for that, craft breweries would start like lining the insides of their cans with, some sort of paper or some sort of liner with absolutely no taste transfer whatsoever, and then that kind of like helped them out. These companies don't do that,
Right,
Anheuser,
no.
but like they don't put that much thought into the beer, so I kind of expected to get that metallic taste to it, and I don't get that here, which is odd.
That's quite surprising. Yeah, I'd forgotten all about the flavor transfer with the canning process, because it's been years since we've had an issue on anything off the shelf with craft beer, taste wise. It's almost just completely
it's been a
prevented.
long time.
Yeah.
Well, down the hatch with the rest of it.
Yeah, I'm done with that one.
I think it's time for a rinse.
It is. Be right back.
We're back.
We're back.
What's next, Mitch?
Oh man. Well, I've been thinking of the High Life.
Oh, the champagne of beers.
That's right. Oh shit!
You
I
all
keep
right?
hitting my knee.
Mitch keeps hitting the table.
I'm gonna have to move over. But so this is the next rank up from Busch Beer when it comes to alcohol content.
4.6 Miller High Life. We have it in the 32-ounce can. This is bigger than the 25-ounce big one
Yeah, the
that
big
we drank from Bush. And I don't know if I'm looking forward to this more or less, just because.
Well, I know when I was growing up. Oh, thank you. The Miller High Life was more refreshing than the other lagers around me. And my oldest brother at the time would always have it in his fridge when I was growing up. So I was like, that's pretty good. I think I like Miller High Life.
Is there some nostalgia to this beer for you, Mitch?
A little bit of nostalgia.
Okay.
It was mainly, so we got the 32-ounce can today.
Yeah.
I prefer seeing it in the glass bottle myself.
The smaller, the shorter glass bottles, or just the actual?
Just the standard size
Just the
ones.
standard size?
Yeah, 6-packer kind of like, yeah. So, it's
you can
weird.
get the 6 out. You can get the little, I think they're like 8-ounce bottles.
But why?
I mean,
yeah, I know. But why are we doing this to ourselves?
I don't know. Oh,
but
that's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know. The 8-ounce are okay. So this is 4-point-something% alcohol.
4.6.
4.6.
4.6.
Why would you want 8 ounces? That's
would-
why you buy 32.
This is true.
But I don't know.
I would argue, why would I want 1 ounce of this beer? But
Right,
here
that's
we
true.
are with a 32-ounce can of it. So
Well, we're about to get the high life
yeah,
on,
we
man.
are.
So I love reading the marketing for Miller High Life and all the other lagers out there. But the whole classic American style, they're still clinging on to being the original kind of American way of drinking.
The quintessential classic.
There you go. That's right. And apparently it's an authentic, unpretentious beer.
Miller High Life, the unpretentious beer?
That's right. Wait, that's not their slogan.
No. The champagne of beers.
Oh, how I know.
Sounds pretty pretentious to me.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to see if this is any good as I remember it being growing up before I got into craft beer. I cannot tell you that I ever looked back once I got into craft beer. So
Let's get into this.
decent foamy head, of course. It's one of these malt liquor lager, maybe not malt liquor. I may be saying the wrong thing.
Not malt liquor.
No,
7
lagers.
IBUs, 4.6%.
I don't know why I keep saying that. Every time I look down, I just think malt liquor with these things.
We're getting into those next.
I
after
know.
This.
I know. That's really the beginning there. Gosh. with my
Average of 2.64% on Untapped.
4.6%, you said? Wait,
Yep.
those are reviews?
No, it's got a 2.64 average on Untapped, and it's got a 4.6% ABV.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay, I agree with 2-point-something, but I'm not giving it that.
That is really sweet.
Yeah, it's
That is
very
a really sweet beer.
I'm guessing that's why it's the champagne. It's very
Light, utilizing light, stable Galena hops from the Pacific Northwest and a select combination of malted barley.
barley.
Miller High Life continues to be faithfully brewed as a golden pilsner.
When you have to put a color to your beer to try to sell it, it's kind of weird. Of course, we got brown ales and stuff, but
I just wonder how much the marketing company at Miller High Life makes because they got to work hard.
yeah, maybe. I don't know if they have to work all that hard now.
This is true. That's a good point. Okay, so is this better or is this worse than the Bush beer that we had previously?
I do like this better than the
A little
Busch
bit
beer.
better.
This feels like it actually has a little bit of flavor to it compared. It did get to chill a little longer,
Yeah.
so there's that. But
A little sweeter. I agree. There's a little bit more flavor. I don't. Almost tastes like there's like a corn, kind of a cornish aftertaste.
it
Maybe
does, yeah.
Maybe that's just or maybe like a sugary.
Maybe that's the barley or something. Curious. It's not. It's definitely not my favorite. What the heck? So apparently, I'm looking at this review, and the Miller High Life got tagged at GABF 2013.
What?
Hey,
What are you doing at the Great American Beer Festival drinking Miller High Life?
That's a really good question. That would take a detective to figure out.
Actually, you may. So I posted this on the Foamy Heads Instagram page the other night. I was out with my wife. We were celebrating her birthday. So her birthday was on the 30th of July, so just a few days ago. And we went out to Cool Springs area, Franklin, Brentwood, that kind of area. We went to dinner, and there's a very good beer store right behind where we were eating dinner. And I'm trying. The name is slipping me. I'm gonna have to look it up. But it's a liquor store / tasty, beer area, and they always have lots of different kinds of beers. And you can get them in singles. You can get them in 4-packs. I picked up a few good beers I think we're gonna enjoy over. And right in the middle of a heavily alcohol and dry hopped IPA and a really big bold stout sat a 40 of Miller High Life, and they were just lined up, one behind the other. And I literally walked up to the guy and I said, "Hey, what is this? I don't know. Maybe I agree. Maybe this is genius marketing, but I don't understand what that's doing there." And he goes, "Yeah, the owner put that there. Thought that would be kind of a fun idea to put a Miller High Life, a 40 at that, in the middle of a bunch of craft beer." So I posted that picture. I took a picture and I posted it on the Foamy Heads Instagram page. Yeah. So it's too good not to take a picture.
That's crazy. I heard a story similar to this at work this past week. We had a guest come by, and they talked about how some brewery, I forget where, they took, I think it was which economy beer created not exactly margarita mix of their beer.
I think Budweiser did a Rita series where they had like a Lime-A-Rita and a Strawberry-Rita and all of those, the different flavors.
Yes. Yeah. So at a craft beer tavern, just like a tap house or something, people, all like the hipsters and stuff that are just super stoked about craft beer but are super selective about what they want, were going there wanting sour beers, and there were no sour beers in the area tapped at the time. So the guy or owner or whatever was like, "Okay, sure," and he tapped the Lime-A-Rita or whatever to the wall. And whenever people asked, "Do you have any Gose or any kind of like sour beer or something?" they gave them that, and they were like, "Oh my god, this is the best thing ever."
Lime-A-Ritas from Budweiser?
Yeah, but they didn't know what they were ordering, apparently.
Oh, that's great.
Which is weird to me to think about, because I always know what I'm getting when I order something. But I guess if you're just wanting a sour for the sake of a sour,
looking for something different, you don't care what it is or who makes it. I bet they would have had a difference of opinion if they found out who made it and what beer it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
That cracks me up. I love hearing stories like that, though. It's awesome. So, are you going for a second pour of the High Life?
I am not. I don't think I am. I think it's reached the warm beer suck zone for me. I'm struggling to get this last couple of sips down because it's getting a little warm. But
yeah, it did get a little warm.
I will agree with you that I liked it better than the Busch that we had previously, but that's not really saying much because it's kind of hard to get worse than the beer that we had.
Yeah. It's definitely nothing I'm going to be reaching for off the shelf now that Nashville has such a huge selection of craft beer. So it was a blast from the past, 1903. That was how it used to be, and I'm done with it. I'm not going back to Miller High Life.
Nope.
No, sorry. I think it's time for a rinse.
Yep. Oh, we're back.
God, I've always been wary about this brand next, man.
Yeah. Bud Ice, 5.5% ABV.
Usually I picture people in football helmets when they drink this.
I picture people on the back of pickup trucks out in the middle of nowhere drinking this.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with why they call it an ice beer?
Because it needs to be on ice. I don't know.
I like your description better. Yours is much better. That's not the answer, but I like your description a lot better. Ice beers are actually when they're making when they're brewing the beer itself, they actually freeze it and then they scrape the ice off the top.
Oh.
So it actually condenses, so it means there's less water in it, and it makes a higher concentrated beer. So ice beers have a typically higher alcohol content than other beers because they're getting rid of a lot of the water in the brewing process, which means there's more of an alcohol to water ratio than other beers. So Bud Ice is sitting at 5.5%, probably because they started out with a lot more water and they got rid of a lot of the water during the brewing process.
Interesting.
So let me see the can, Mitch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bud Ice. It's in such strong typography.
Even the can is beat to shit. Like, I have no idea why I picked this up, but like this looks like, I mean, just the way the way the logo's sitting and the way the stickers put on the can, like it's uneven, and it's just one of those like the font's worn off. Maybe that was their idea, or maybe that was their goal, but it just looks like a can that's just like you're walking along a dirt path and you see this thing sitting on the ground.
And you're just like, that is delicious.
Yes.
I'm going to drink that.
I can't wait to not drink this beer.
I know. I don't think this one's going to be better than the champagne of beer.
No. I don't know. To be honest, I'm just looking at the can going, it's making my stomach turn a little bit just looking at it. But I don't know. Maybe we'll be surprised, but I think I'm tending to agree with you. The foamy head is staying on this one. It's not even, it hasn't gone down since you poured it.
No. Mine's went down a little bit, but it just kind of reminds me of that old, I don't know what it was called, but it was like, it was a toy growing up. It was Goop that you could manipulate and play with. I don't know. It's reminded me of that nasty crap.
You talking about, not the Nickelodeon Gak stuff, are you?
Similar though.
Okay.
Yeah. Silly putty like thoughts. It almost looks like that with air bubbles in it.
This beer stinks. I'm actually
it
smelling it, and it stinks. Not like skunk stink,
No.
but it stinks. It smells like
the sweat off a player's back. I don't know.
That's disgusting. Now I have to drink this beer, Mitch. Now when I drink this beer, I'm going to be thinking the sweat off of somebody's back.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh
No.
That's terrible.
I don't like this one.
This is ridiculous. Oh, I can't. And you poured like 2/3 of a cup in here too.
Oh, my bad.
I have to drink it because
it's dirty
you poured
water.
it all. It is dirty water. That's exactly what this. Oh. The Miller High Life is definitely better. I wasn't a huge fan of the Miller High Life, but this is probably the worst out of the three that we've had so far, in my opinion.
Yeah, I gave out of 5. This has been my rating so far. Busch beer, I gave a 7.5, like 0.75.
0.75.
Then,
this is on Untapped, right?
Yes,
so
yeah.
out of 5, you gave it 3/4 of a bottle cap.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the Miller, I went ahead and threw a 1 on it for nostalgia, and that's okay.
And you tend to agree that it tasted better than the Busch beer, so
Yes.
you're trending in the right direction.
Yep.
And then you came Bud Ice.
Bud Ice is going to be as low as I can give it.
So you can give it a 0.25. You could give it a 0. It doesn't negative a 0. A no rating does not affect the average of the overall rating of the beer. A 0.25 will. Is this a 0 or is this a 0.25?
Well, I'm drinking it. I'm going to rate it.
True.
0.25.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the lowest it can go.
Yeah.
To make a registered kind of thing. Whatever.
I would give it the same rating.
Yeah. This is what I expect. When you've got a lager and you fill it with ice and then it's in like a big vat and you're just scooping it out into cups and giving it to people for just ridiculous amounts of money, and then it's the bottom rung or whatever. This is what I feel like that would taste like.
This is the bottom of the barrel shit.
Yeah, I don't like this.
This is the kind of beer where you're just like, you go out into the middle of nowhere, you're out in the country, and somebody's sitting on a porch rocker, sitting out on their front porch drinking cheap beer, and they've got like a 12-pack or a suitcase of it sitting next to them, and they're just downing all this beer.
Yeah, it's like a 64 pack,
Ugh.
never-ending supply of slop.
I can't drink. I have to though.
Yeah.
Okay. I've made some progress though.
Yeah, I'm taking big gulps.
Oof.
I'm getting through it.
It's a little bit more golden color. Like it's a little bit darker than the Miller High Life.
That's true. Yeah, that's fair.
I think it's probably because like we went back, to talk about the ice factor where, an ice beer is technically frozen and then they take the ice layer off the top, which removes a lot of the water so that when they melt the beer again, it's less or I should say it's more heavily concentrated with alcohol and there's less water in it. So it could be just the fact that, well, there's less water and more shit in this beer. Maybe that's why this beer looks a little bit darker.
Yeah. God, this is bad. It's not even that enjoyable. It's like water. It's just water that tastes bad.
Yeah.
That's all I have for it.
The ending is the worst part.
It is.
I can suffer through taking a sip and swallowing it, but it's like there's this weird, like, disgusting taste at the end that just kind of stays with me.
I don't want to blame part of the can for it because I think it just inherently sucks, but it could be a little bit of flavor transfer.
Yeah, I think so too. My guess is these guys aren't lining their 2 for $4 25-ounce cans with
No.
any type of flavor transfer-free lining.
This is, no.
It's
definitely. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that tasted gross.
That was the stadium right there.
Yeah.
That's the smell of the stadium.
That's the smell of the stadium.
And you'll take it as the smell of victory or defeat while there.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm winning or losing right now, Mitch.
Can't tell. No, we're definitely losing right now.
We're definitely losing. But King Cobra's next. And that'll be the final of the 4 cheap beers that we set up. And I'm not sure if I'm going to like it better or worse than Bud Ice. So far, Miller High Life, I think, is the winner for me.
Definitely. Right now, Miller High Life is higher on life than the rest. And the Cobra, I have high expectations for.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because I typically went either it was Miller High Life, because I hated the taste of these other beers, right?
Yeah.
This is what I expect. Bud Ice is the flavor profile I remember from having random beers at random people's places. I'm like, I'll just take a fucking water.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want this.
It tastes better.
Yeah.
And it was probably cleaner.
Yes. So, I have higher expectations for Cobra. Because I think Colt 45 was my usual go-to when it comes to a 40, right? It was Colt 40.
Colt 45.
That's what I usually also mixed with orange juice too. So anyway, I should have picked up some orange juice. That would have been a good throwback. Anyway, I'm closing this one out, man. I'm ready for a rinser.
Let's rinse.
We're back.
We got a treat now.
Man, this is the
premium malt liquor.
Yes. I usually picked up a Colt 45 myself.
I was looking for Colt 45 and they didn't have any. They had some other 40 of something lightning. I couldn't really pick out. I just saw the name and then I saw King Cobra and I was like, well,
it'll work.
Sure. I mean, I'm not expecting greatness out of any of this stuff. So
no.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, I forgot how heavy the 40s were. I've gotten used to the craft beer thing. You know how you get an office job and then you lose all your upper body strength?
The 40's a little heavier.
Yeah.
So what we have here is a 40 of premium smooth tasting malt liquor.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Known as the King Cobra. It has a twist top, Mitch. It has a twist top.
Yeah, man.
Ugh.
That's
so disgusting.
That's a classic sound.
It's got like this squishy aluminum top.
Yeah, you don't want to put too much money into those. They're going onto the ground usually.
Oh.
How's that nose?
I'm just... Notes of skunk.
Oh, yeah.
Dirty water. Oh.
This is the premium stuff right here.
Let me see your cup. I'm pouring yours first.
Thank you.
Oh, no, don't thank me.
So, yeah, it was Miller High Life or typically malt liquor that I'd pick up because I was pretty broke in college. I didn't, when I wanted to get messed up, then I would just get fucked up.
Right.
So malt liquor is an easy choice on that because it's a 40 typically.
We didn't have the craft beer salary in the college life, did we?
No, we did not.
No.
And it wasn't really prevalent with the selections we have today.
Yeah.
I think the only ones popping up were like Yazoo,
Sam Adams,
of course. I think at the time Blackstone I was seeing around, but I didn't know what it was. And there might have been like Jackalope, maybe. I'm not sure. This was back in 2008 to 2010 or so.
Okay.
I would think to 12 time frame.
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly sure what was coming into Nashville around that time, but all I knew is I could walk across the street and get some beer if I wanted to. Oof. Or some dude's place, and they always had it.
Right, exactly.
I mean, it's college.
Yeah.
So anywhere I went, there was beer. But my favorite thing with these, because I didn't really care for having a 40 straight, right? Mm-hmm. But someone turned me on to the orange juice factor with it. So you would...
Mixed with
orange juice.
Really?
And typically, I don't know, I looked on Google to figure out what it was, but I've never been, I guess I was never in a scene or with a clique of people or anything. It was always like one or two people from college that were also broke and just turned me on to things that, I was like, whatever, sure, I'll try it. And this is like a Brass Monkey or Beer Mosa. And you just grab any orange juice that you want, essentially, and pour it after you drink out probably a good third of the 40. So you just kind of tip it back, drink as much as you can.
Yeah.
Then you put it back down, fill it back up with the orange juice.
Got it.
Typically, it's like 50-50.
Okay.
But the way I learned was just drink all the way past the curve and fill it up. And then just enjoy it and then fill up the rest of the orange juice in it and mix it. You always got to mix it.
Yeah.
But that's how I remember 40s. They weren't half bad. If you just
I'm sure
wanted
it's not bad because orange
yeah.
juice is not a bad beverage.
Right.
When you're masking something else.
Yes. So I'm going to take a sniff here because I've never really just like went the craft beer route of inspection on a 40. You know what I mean? But yeah, okay. That's quite skunky for, yes.
It stinks.
It does. It actually reminds me of, hold on. It almost reminds me of the mango, what was that 420 strain?
The mango Sweetwater.
Yeah.
The 420 or
mango
Kush.
Yeah, it might have been.
Mango Kush. Yes.
Yeah.
420 strain mango Kush wheat ale.
This is just like, you can't smell it from a distance, but if you put your nose to it, you can smell mango Kush 420 with the malt liquor.
Oh.
But I mean, that stuff, as you know, they poured our drinks with the mango Kush and it filled the entire
room. Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So it's got quite skunky nose to it. It's, that's really all I'm getting out of the nose.
Yeah. The foamy head dissipated quickly, and it's
did.
no longer there.
There's just like a slight bubbly layer to the top now.
Should we get into it?
Yeah, let's do this. Well, okay.
I surprisingly hated the Bud Ice more than I hated this.
Yeah, Bud Ice sucks.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Yeah, I'm
Mitch's
sorry,
opinion.
I don't like
It is done. Bud Ice sucks.
Yeah. Even some people who are very proliferate with the cheaper beers hate Bud Ice.
Bud Ice.
Apparently, we got texted by
yeah.
saying,
I've had a couple of my friends texting me during our check-ins on Untappd. Want to know why we're drinking all this beer? One of them said Bud Ice tastes like straight charcoal to him.
Man, it's pretty.
I don't
good.
think he's too wrong.
Yeah, but this is definitely way better than Bud Ice by a long shot.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I still probably hate this beer. Well, I don't hate it. I just don't like it. I hated Bud Ice.
Mm-hmm. There's not much to the beer when you drink it. It's malty.
Yep.
It's smooth, lighter, and it finishes quite crisply, honestly. So it's enjoyable compared to these other beers.
Yeah.
I think I actually put it a little bit above High Life,
Yeah.
but High Life doesn't stink either.
Yes.
So kind of a tough toss-up.
I think that if the stink factor was taken out of this beer, I agree. I still think this is, out of the 4 we've had, I think King Cobra probably was my favorite of the 4, or the least offensive, I should say. I don't know if I really enjoyed any of them. I didn't enjoy any of them, but the King Cobra is probably the least offensive to me out of these 4.
It's a very nice, not very nice. I shouldn't go to that extent, but it's a clean drink.
Yes.
Compared, there's no random just like crappy taste. It's a clean, crisp, and light, and kind of leaves your mouth a little dry afterwards. So you want to drink more. You got a 40. You might as well drink more.
I don't know if I'm going to fill my cup up again, though. No. Is the thing, because I think as a reward for what we were doing today, we discussed we were going to have a good beer after all this is said and done.
Almost unreachable for us landlocked people on the East Coast, Southeast. We're not completely east because we're landlocked.
But we are landlocked.
Yeah, we are a belt buckle landlocked.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think that we deserve it. After going through these,
this was a not a terrible experience.
No,
but
it's a good walk back on memory lane.
Yeah, we talked about doing this last week when we said, okay, how are we gonna, we should do this, and we both agreed at the time we thought it'd be funny, and then as the days got closer, I was like, oh shit, we're actually gonna have to do this.
Yeah, it's funny. Like the week goes by so fast. So when we have these casts where we're talking and stuff, it's a good pause on time, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and this was a good time spent overall. I think walking back down memory lane a bit on beers I've had before craft beer, it's like, I'm glad we are where we're at today.
Yes.
Because there's so many options of better tasting product out there. I still don't know how. It must be just the price and the ability to just grab it off the shelf anywhere, any place, at any time.
Yeah.
But it's just, damn it. Craft beer is breaking into those places too. But I think the complexity of the titling drives some people away. So if they were
beer,
if they were to make a specific lager branded in a similar fashion and sold in a similar environment, maybe there would be a better point of entry.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I think there's something to that. I follow certain venues on craft, on the Untapped app.
That's right.
And whenever a new venue will add some beers to their list or whatever, I'll get a notification because I have push notifications turned on for that specific venue, right?
Right.
And every once in a while we'll get a Craft Brewed is one of the more probably popular venues in downtown Nashville, has added a new beer, and they'll list the name, and I actually screenshotted it and sent it to a few of my buddies because I couldn't pronounce the make. I couldn't pronounce the brewery. I couldn't pronounce the name of the beer, and I couldn't pronounce the style of beer. It was literally a 3 or 4 word named beer, and I couldn't pronounce it. It didn't look like there were any vowels in them, and I look at that and I go, this is the reason that people won't hop on the craft beer train, because they look at it and they go, that's pretentious. I don't want to be part of that. I'd rather just sit here and drink my Miller High Life.
True.
Yeah.
I think that is part of it, and all the different styles, and almost everyone I've talked to, when I say, yeah, I like craft beer, you know what they jump to?
What?
IPAs. They go, oh, I don't like piney. I don't like that weird bitterness, and they're always describing an IPA. They don't know there's other styles of beer other than what they can pick up off the shelf. And I guess whatever craft beer someone's handed them has been an IPA, which is kind of a punch in the face.
Yeah.
Ideally, you go to a tap house with a knowledgeable person serving you beer, and they can tell you about the different styles. Yeah. And if you tell them, I've only bought economy beer or whatever. Just tell them what you drink, Bush or whatever.
They'll give you something kind of,
Yes.
well, a lot better, but in that same flavor profile.
Right. They'll probably do a different lager if they have it on tap, and if not that, a brown ale.
Red
or,
ale or
yes.
blonde or something. Yeah. Something with flavor, but that's not punching you in the face like an IPA.
Right.
Yeah.
IPAs, sours, you know, the whole gamut that we've got today, they all come with an explanation and just like, hey, this is why they did it.
Yes.
Expect this crap
Yep.
to happen in your mouth. You know, like that's a terrible way to explain it, but they tell you what you're about to experience, and that's always a good heads up.
Yeah.
So, I think the accumulation of these 4 beers has finally started to tease my brain just a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
But also, I would only do, okay, out of these 4, what would you pour again?
King Cobra.
Same. Yeah.
It's the lesser of the 4 evils at this point.
Right.
I don't think I loved any of them.
No.
I didn't like any of them, but King Cobra was the least offensive to me.
King Cobra, Miller, Bush, Bud, Ice.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be the same order. King Cobra, Miller High Life, or did you say Bush or did you say Miller High Life? King Cobra first.
King Cobra, High Life,
High Life,
then Bush,
then Bush,
then Bud.
I'd agree with that.
Bud was terrible.
It was terrible.
I did not enjoy that one. But
I think we should have a post-podcast
yes.
celebratory beer. What do you think?
Yes, it's time for a rinse.
Yeah.
And we're back.
And we made it to the end.
Man, so the taste of Cobra lingers.
Yes.
Very interesting fact.
So what are you gonna drink here as your celebratory beer?
I have. Okay, so last week we did a full Bearded Iris special, right?
Yeah.
So we still have beers from it.
We have a shitload of beers left over
We
from it.
do.
I think we bought, what was it, like $80 worth of beers?
Yeah.
Bearded Iris. I just showed up with like
Yes.
a bunch of 4-packs.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
So we're living off some of this right now, and I'm gonna go with another suggestion. This is one I haven't had before, and it's a double IPA with Nelson Citra and Moteca hops. I saw this check in on your feed this past week, I believe. It's a 7.8% alcohol by volume. They don't give me any IBUs or anything on the can. So I'm looking forward to it.
It's a good beer. I had it, I want to say I had it for probably Wednesday or Thursday of last week, and it was a solid beer. I very much enjoyed that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I haven't actually had an IPA this week. I got busy, and my wife works with me now, so we pretty well drop out at the end of work. We share a car sometimes, and some nights I'm like, you should drive separately. Because the boss and I will have our drinks after work sometimes and catch up on the day, clients, whatnot. So it's kind of a different dynamic now, whereas before I typically just like pour myself a beer and continue working 4:30 till 6 or something.
Yeah.
But, you know. Oh, this pours wonderfully, dude.
Yes. It's a good-looking beer. It's very hazy. It's not see-through. It's super hazy.
The head on it's steady.
Yeah. And I will say, as weird as this sounds, it looks exactly like how it's going to taste.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
You're going to take a sip of that, and you're going to be like, this is a heavy IPA that's very easy to drink, but it tastes exactly like it looks.
Oh, I'm excited, man.
It's super tasty. I'm drinking an Awesome Blossom. So we reviewed this last week when we were doing our Bearded Iris. I don't think we did another suggestion, did we?
We did not.
We did, what was it? We started out with wasn't the Sunglasses Needed, but we started out with the Again and Again.
Yes,
the
again,
Pale
again.
Ale.
Sunglasses.
Then
needed.
Sunglasses Needed.
Awesome Blossom.
Awesome Blossom. And then
Attention
Please. Yes, Attention Please. That's correct. So we've already had the Awesome Blossom. It was really good. We liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Another suggestion is a new one on you, right? Because
Yes.
you hadn't had it before. We did not review it last week during our
Right.
Bearded Irish session.
It literally is another suggestion.
Got it.
I may not have used literally Right. I might have used it figuratively.
Well, we posted that on our Foamy Heads Instagram page also a few
That's
days
right.
ago. So if you have had that beer, go find that picture. It's only 2 or 3 back, and comment below what you thought on that picture. I thought that was a really good tasting beer, so I'm very curious what your thoughts are on it.
Man, it smells wonderful. It's definitely got that. Oh, it's gonna make me sneeze actually from sniffing that. It All right, I massaged that one out. That's what she said.
Nice.
And I got that on my nose this time. I'm getting too close to the subject, Richard. But this is. It smells wonderful. It's like the brewery. We've talked about it multiple times. It has the bearded iris smell, the nose. I expect the same kind of palate, taste, feel, heaviness that comes with most bearded iris beverages. So I'm going to go ahead and dig in. Oh, man. Yeah. Okay. It's exactly how it looks. You're right. It's thick. It's a heavier one. It's smooth. And it has a slight bitterness. It is.
Is it a double IPA? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, 7.8. Okay, I'm looking at it right now. Nelson, Citra, and Motica hops. That's right. Paired with a yeast character, fruit sweetness. I got lemon out of it, maybe a little bit of peach. Kind of an orangish flavor. There's a lot of different flavors that are going on inside that beer. I'm actually looking on the Untapped description, and I'm kind of reading off what they're saying. And this is one of those beers where I actually did pick up on quite a few of the things that they, you know how they do with IPAs where they go, oh, notes of this and that, and you go, I can't really pick up on a lot of those flavors. It's just kind of out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think this is one of those beers that has a lot of different distinct flavors in it.
I think I might pick up on a few different notes as I go through this because I'm coming off of the whole malt liquor kind of thing. Lagers and malt liquor, man.
This tastes amazing right now.
Yes.
This beer tastes great after what we've been through.
My palate is in shock. IPAs, man, they're very crisp. This one's got a bitterness, but there is a sweetness to it that I would probably relate to like a maybe not quite grapefruit right now.
Okay.
But you know how grapefruit is like kind of crisp and sweet, but then it goes kind of like sideways on you.
Yes.
Where you're like, oh no.
That's that good zone where there's lots of flavor in the grapefruit, and then it just dumps you off into bitter territory where there's nothing enjoyable after that.
Right.
As long as it can keep you in that fine territory, you're good. But once it goes off the deep end, that's when it starts getting terrible.
Right. And this drink's fantastic. It's super mild on the bitter scale.
Yeah.
Does make you a little thirsty at the end if you wait around enough, and it's very, I don't know, it's wonderful. I would love to have this on a hot day.
Yes.
This is awesome.
Yeah, and a good way to finish 4 very cheap beers.
Yes, it is. Did this cost the same as all 4 of those cheap beers?
So we said what, $7 for all of those beers for
Yes.
the 2 25-ounce cans of the Busch and the I'm looking for it right now, the Busch and the Bud Ice, and a 32-ounce can of Miller High Life, and then a 40 of King Cobra. All cost $7. The 4-pack of Another Suggestion from Bearded Iris cost $15, so it was double that. So yeah, we're probably looking at about $4 a can on that thing.
Yeah.
So, but worth it in my opinion.
Definitely worth it. You get a higher enjoyment out of it, and the ABV on this, what was it?
7.8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Off one can, you're gonna feel the effects way better and quicker than having 4 other beers trying to hammer you down.
We didn't feel anything until I think towards the end. Of those 4 beers.
Cobra Strap.
Yeah, it did. I think it was a successful session, though.
It was.
I think I had a good time.
Yes.
I don't know if I would have to do this again, but
no. But I think revisiting the economy beers is always interesting engagement. Yeah. There's other ones too.
Yes.
So we'll probably do this again, and probably have someone who's more well versed, in the whole economy beer scene of what we should get, because we just kind of you just shotgun.
We
your
just
choices.
picked up gas station
Yeah.
beers. I think
Yeah.
if you could get somebody in here that says, hey, this is, here's kind of more of the economy beers that people drink on a regular basis. That, if you're mowing the yard or something,
Right.
you're not gonna reach for a Miller High Life or a King Cobra.
So there's two different things. There's ball game, like drinks.
Yeah.
What do you drink there? And then what do you drink at home for your like tasks that you have to complete in a daily kind of fashion? So that'd be interesting. I know our choices on craft because that's what our go-to is, but on the economy stuff, I'm curious what should we pick up for that specific thing? I don't know, man. I feel like within that own community or something, there's you drink that?
It's
Just
probably
like craft beer.
It's probably Bud Light, Miller Lite, and Coors Light. Those are probably the three.
But what about Yingling? I know it's craft beer, but it's been popping up at weddings.
It has been, yeah. Yingling's popping up a little bit. Yazoo seems to be like popping up a lot of the weddings here locally because it's like a good craft beer you can get at Dos Perros or something.
Right.
It's kind of like a good craft beer that's not expensive and you can just throw a bunch of them into a cooler.
Yeah, I know. I encountered. It's been a while since I've been to a wedding. Now, the last wedding I went to, they had Yingling, and I picked it up, and I had like 2 or 3. And someone noticed. I guess they saw me with Yingling every time. They're like, "So you really like Yingling, huh?" And I'm like,
no, I just really hate all the other beer that's here.
Yeah, I'm like, it's free. It's what's here, man.
Not a bad beer.
No,
it's not a bad beer. There's better out there, but if that's the best craft beer selection, then that's what I'm going to go for.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Sam Adams wasn't prevalent, but I guess that's more of a tap house kind of thing.
Probably.
I'm assuming. I don't know.
You can get it pretty much everywhere,
Yeah.
so it's a little odd that you don't see it more often.
Right. The go-tos I see are typically, in my memory, they're like, occasionally I'll see a Miller, but it's usually a Bud of some sort.
Yep.
Yingling.
Yep.
Budweiser, which is, I guess, part
A
Bud,
Bud.
but that's the one I usually see.
Yeah.
I can't say I see Busch a whole lot, and there's definitely some other subsets of Miller that pop up.
Well, I think today what we had was like gas station beers.
Right.
This is not an indication of what people normally drink if they're just everyday drinking beer. I think they would go more towards like I said, the Miller Lite, Coors Light, or Bud Light.
Coors. Yeah,
something like that.
that's definitely a big one.
Most of the time, people have a favorite of one of those three. It's like, oh, well, you're a Miller guy. I drink Coors Light, or the Coors Light. Oh, that tastes like water. I prefer Miller Lite.
Yeah.
And then once you get into craft beer, there's a whole nother category of that. But
There's like
we'll do that. We'll do that session one time. I think that would be fun if we can see if we can differentiate the taste between Miller Lite, Coors Light, and Bud Light.
Ooh,
Just
that's
get
gonna
those
be
three
tough.
together. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be fun, but
It would be.
I think today was successful.
It was.
I wouldn't have to do these beers ever again,
No.
but I'm glad we did.
I think next time we might do a celebratory brass monkey.
With some OJ.
Yes.
That'd be awesome. Well,
We'll shake it up.
thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can catch us. We've got currently an Instagram and a Facebook going on, and a Twitter.
And a Twitter, all at the Foamy Heads.
Yep.
You can look us up on each one. We post a lot of our pictures of what we're drinking daily on the Instagram. Our Twitters, most of the time, it's normally comment, like articles that we find interesting, we'll post there.
Right.
Or if we're checking into a place or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be fun. If you're drinking beer, keep drinking beer. If you're not drinking beer, start drinking beer, because what the hell are you doing? It's 7:30 at night. You need to be drinking beer. And if you haven't had craft beer, get into craft beer. Don't drink Bud Ice, because Bud Ice beer is shit.
Yeah, that's awful. It's so bad.
Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.